What up, y'all? Welcome to the Crazy House. Special presidential election edition, I guess I could say. That's why I'm wearing the illustrious red and black. I actually wore this at work because of the whole thing with the election results and stuff. So if the red doesn't fucking tell you as compared to the other jersey that I have been putting it down on, yeah, and in case you're not, you're living under a rock, Donald Trump won. And it didn't come as much of a surprise to me that Donald Trump was going to win, because as we all know, Donald Trump is very successful at beating women. He did it 8 years ago, and he did it this time. You didn't vote, but you supported Trump. Right on. Now here's an interesting twist. So today I had to go pick up my son for visitation and stuff, and I was talking to my baby mama. If you don't remember, the one from Diapergate. And I was talking to her, and she said, under no circumstances did I want to vote for Donald Trump. She's like, I took our son with me to go vote. I showed him how the voting system works and everything, here in Michigan. She had her pen literally over the bubble to vote for Kamala Harris, and her intuition kicks in and said that she needed to vote for Donald Trump, because if Kamala Harris won, then bad shit was gonna fucking happen. So I tell you this though right now, I like, this is the type of stuff, and Chronic remembers this. Chronic, as well as I do, that this is the type of shit that we used to talk about. We used to talk about politics on Savage Jesters, and this is pretty much one of the things that I really wanted to get into, was just like to talk about politics and stuff going on in the political world, but kind of put a little bit of a juggalo twist on it. That's always been something that I've wanted to do, rather than just talk juggalo this, that, and the other, and just have it be like a complete fucking absolute downgrade. Yes, I'm a juggalo, but like, for I want to say the last 8 years, I've been slowly but surely wanting to put my toe in the water in politics. And part of that actually has to do with the fact that we went to Washington, D.C. To march in Washington because the FBI was fucking with the Juggalo community. And ever since then, I've been really wanting to put my toe in the fucking water, in the reflecting pool, both literally and figuratively, because I saw some ninja riding a bike in the reflective pool and he almost got arrested for it. But nevertheless, I want to show you guys, we have here our handy dandy map that was completely ripped off from, I don't know if it was like one of the mainstream media sites or if it was the the Associated Press or something like that. Something's going on for some reason. Yeah, this page is wonky looking for some reason. What happened to the frame rendering? Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna get your flourishing auto industry economy back. You're goddamn right we are. Something's happening with OBS that is making it so this particular page is on some other shit for some reason. I don't know what's happening with this, but like the GPU is maxed out on just OBS alone. Oh, we're going to get to that, Fairy. So, is this... I don't know, how bad is this? For some reason. Yeah, the FPS is fucking up. What? Just... Dude, what are you doing? Good old fucking... Yeah, this ain't working. This is bad. And I don't even have the thing open. So I don't know how I don't know. This looks very, very fucking poor. So I don't know exactly why it's causing this to happen. But frame rendering is shit. Can you guys hear me okay? Is at least that okay? Okay, I might have to see if I can like close some... I don't know, okay, because yeah, like you could see like the frame rate is incredibly fucking choppy. All of a sudden, my computer just started to fuck up. And I don't know if I can actually refresh it while I'm still live or what the hell's going on, but for some reason, like my GPU is very, very, very slow right now. Oh, I think, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's causing all of this. I don't know, maybe I have too many windows open? I don't know. But my computer, all of a sudden, just completely out of nowhere, is starting to over... Yeah, it's like way too much going on here. Stupid computer. How does that work? Because yeah, it's showing everything on, like with the camera's fine. It's just this. Okay, yeah. So like as soon as I open up, and this actually works fine. Like I'm not doing an entire show just like this, but it's just like the encoder for some reason is like way overpowered. So there's something that's causing this to happen. Probably in yeah, might have some, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the amount of windows that I have open. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if closing certain things might bring that down, because Yeah, OBS is just wild right now. Yeah, so my apologies. Just stay with me for a good, for a hot second. We'll see if we can get this fixed. Does this change matters any whatsoever? No. I mean, it looks a little bit better, but it's still for some reason, it's just still boom. Yeah, but like, yeah, in the idea of trying to create a decently run show, for some reason, this particular thing, and what's fucked up is that's a screenshot like that I'm displaying, and it's like creating. There's like you can see the framework is just low. Like for some reason, the encoder is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. I did not have this problem at all until I started the show. Now let's see what happens if I change the encoder. Let's see if that does something. It would surprise me if it works. What I just did. Okay, yeah. Already I'm seeing a fucking yeah, you can already see whatever I did, I'm better now. So yeah, now the GPU isn't overloaded. Things are actually working a little bit smoother. So I think I'm good. All right. So anyways, yeah. So, you know, like you've seen this enough. All right. So let's talk about the map. Let's get back to this now that I've got my show running fair and there's no choppiness and all of that. We're gonna talk about this. So we take a look. You see my cursor. All right. So they started off pretty much in this general area. After 7 o'clock, we started seeing boom, 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 boom. Like states were just piling up. Now the states that, and the states that we all needed to take a look at, by the way, was Florida. These were the swing states or the battleground states that we needed to look for. Florida being one of them, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and then over here we had Nevada and Arizona. So those were all the battleground states. And if you take a look at the map, Trump won all of them. Now, what's interesting to me, though, was like okay, so like you do see like over here, you have the state of Maine. Maine and Nebraska, I believe, are two states where the amount of, yeah, so like you have it up here. So you have Nebraska, you have Maine. These are the two states where the electoral votes can be split. And that's exactly what happened here with Maine. So you had this little area right here of Maine. Maine won one for Democrat, one for Republican. You had two over here in Nebraska because Nebraska has 3 different districts. Only 1 point for the Democrats and 2 for the Republicans. And then you also have this. Now, this is interesting to me when it concerns New York, Illinois, California. So you take a look at how big these states are. Okay, you have this entire little island right here, all of New York City, the 7 boroughs and stuff like that. That was where the majority of the votes came in for Democrat. which ended up leading to the entire state of New York being Democrat, despite the fact that that honestly was a kind of a surprise, just due to the fact of when I was watching the Donald Trump rally that happened at Madison Square Garden, they filled that motherfucker. 20,000 people plus an extra 200,000 motherfuckers outside. Going, you know, and the ones that weren't able to go inside, they went to surrounding areas where there were bars, and the bars and eateries and stuff like that that had televisions were so filled with Trump supporters that they didn't give a fuck about the sports that were playing. They asked to change it to whatever channels had the Trump rally so they could watch the Trump rally in these locations. New York City, Brooklyn was completely fucking red that day. And so maybe I underestimated. I was kind of actually hoping to see that New York would end up going red for two reasons. One, because of that. Two, because I know that there are people that live in New York that would have been super fucking pissed off if New York went red. And I would have thought it was funny. Illinois, basically the same thing. Chicago had enough people to keep it blue. Minnesota, not necessarily that much of a surprise because of Tim Walz. California, also not much of a surprise. Washington, Oregon, California, Illinois, New York, Virginia, and a lot of these other states, all of the states, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, DC itself, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire. New Hampshire was kind of a toss-up to me. Because like I did see that it was leaning red for a little bit, and then it went blue, which is fine. But if you take a look, like you got Florida, you got Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, all the fucking swing states, and Trump got them all. Hawaii, when the Hawaii voting was done, it immediately turned blue. It turned blue at 0%. I noticed that. And then when it concerned Alaska, Alaska took a little bit of time to fucking change up. Now, what I find interesting, by the way, and I couldn't find a map for this, but I couldn't find a map for the show, but I saw on TikTok that somebody ended up pointing out that all of the states that went blue are also a lot of the states that you've been hearing a lot about the immigration stuff. Actually, no, this is what it was. Almost every single one of these states, this was the map. Every single one of these states that went blue, almost every single one of these states that went blue, do not have the requirement for identification when coming in to vote. So when you hear about people in Colorado, you know, in Aurora, Colorado, that ended up having their apartment complexes taken over by a Venezuelan gang, you know, that type of shit. When you have California being one of the more bigger border states that comes in, completely, you know, and we all know that the border was practically completely open thanks to Kamala Harris. Now, Texas is a different story. Okay, Texas is going to be a different story. And the reason why I say this is because of my ex-wife. My ex-wife has family that lives about 5 miles away from the Mexican border in Texas. And from what I am told, those people have the right to shoot anybody that comes on their land. And they will do it. Even though they're Mexican, they will fucking do it. And the reason being is because, well, they came in legally. And that was the whole thing. But I'm not surprised at all that Donald Trump ended up winning. And the reason why I say that is because I had been focused a lot on the campaign trail between Donald Trump and, at the time, Biden being the incumbent Democrat. And then when he was told that he was having to step down, Kamala Harris ended up taking over. And then information comes out about Kamala Harris about how when she ran for the fucking Democratic ticket in 2020, She got like what, somewhere between 0 and 2% of the Democratic vote. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted her in. That was a given. So when Kamala Harris is given the fucking key to the city, I knew that she was going to fuck up. Immigration was a hot topic, especially with what the mayor of New York did, with Texas having to ship all of them to New York. Yeah. I mean, dude, there were like a vast majority of these blue cities that did not need identification. Like there were some of them that did require at least some kind of a non-photo identification. So like Illinois, Colorado, New Mexico, I believe Virginia, I believe New York. But I know for a fact that Washington and Oregon did not need any identification at all. So technically, if you lived in Canada, you could go to Washington State, vote Trump if you wanted to, just to fuck with the system. California, Gavin Newsom had recently wrote into state law that you didn't need identification for that. And to be perfectly honest, I'm very surprised that California did stay blue. Hear me out on this, okay? Because granted, you have a lot of illegal immigrants that are coming into the country and stuff like that, and this was a hot topic issue. You know, that was one of the things that Trump was talking about. And I'm sure that a lot of the illegal immigrants that live in some of these said states were going to vote for we're going to vote for Kamala Harris just for the fact that, I forgot what I was saying, this complete fucking brain fart. But yeah, just for the fact that way, if Kamala Harris was did become president of the United States, then the borders would stay open and it would be a complete and utter free-for-all. And I think that that's the reason why a lot of these states went red. I wasn't expecting a Ronald Reagan-esque sweep, but I was expecting that Donald Trump was going to win. Even if he didn't take all of the swing states, which he did. And the most important ones that he had were Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Because the others are 11, 10, and 6. And at least those make up for New York and California being the other biggest ones. And we already got Texas. Texas is already fucking, Texas is a given. Because in Texas, I'm pretty sure that you have to have a fucking permit to not hold a gun in the state of Texas. So it's like you are born and you are immediately equipped with a pistol. But, no, you know what? Not shout out to Texas. I would have to say shout out to Oklahoma. And the reason being, if you'll excuse me, the reason why I would say shout out to Oklahoma is because, so here's the results of them by state. Let's take a look at it by county. Okay, so you've got this whole thing. Take a look at this shit. West Virginia and Oklahoma, 2 states, completely red. Completely red. Which I found that to be very, very interesting. I don't know what this brown nonsense is over here in what is that, Mississippi? I don't know what this brown nonsense is. But you got like a flicker or two. Like, take a look at New York. All right, so you've got New York City all fucking together. Right here, New York City alone and a couple of other speckles of blue right here. And it was enough to get New York to stay blue. Okay, you got Massachusetts over here, which is completely fucking blue. Rhode Island, completely fucking blue. A little smattering in Connecticut. Vermont, that's not a shocker, because Vermont, the people that I know that live in Vermont are kind of fucking left-wing puss balls, but, it is what it is. But take a look at California. On the open carry here in Texas, the law here no longer requires a license to carry. However, should a case happen with the law, a license will help your case. Right. But also, you guys still have the death penalty, if I'm not mistaken. So if somebody kills you in Texas, they will kill you back. Which I guess is a definite proud thing. But, you know, you take a look at a vast majority of what's going on here in Texas. You got, like, speckle, a couple of speckles here. Here's Michigan. Okay, every single major city voted. We're installing an express lane, right? Every single major city here in the state of Michigan. So here we have Detroit and its little surrounding areas, Flint, Michigan, Lansing, Michigan. Down here we have Kalamazoo, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I'm from right here. So just to be on the safe point, I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately, or at least I don't think I can. No, I cannot. I cannot zoom in on this. But let's just say for the fact, okay, I don't have to put up my hand to show you fuckers. This is Grand Rapids. This is Detroit. I don't live in the suburbs of Detroit. Up here you have, you know, like a little bit of the, you know, like the little pinky area, you know. Yeah, we have a little bit of the pinky area, and that went blue. And then up here in the UP, we have Marquette, but this is also a college town. It doesn't surprise me that Flint, Saginaw, Ann Arbor, you know, in the state of Michigan, and but like we have a lot of rural area, okay, and it was enough to fucking keep, you know, to put Michigan back in the red. But I want you to take a look at California, like the beach areas over here in this spot, and then this little bit right here, but all of this right over here is fucking red. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? This has to be one of my favorite fucking maps that I'm about to put up on here. The difference in California between 2020 and 2024. California is slowly but surely waking up. But you have a lot of these other areas that are still, like, you still have some of these counties that are still fucking douchebags. Los Angeles County, San Diego, Ventura, Santa Barbara. Like, all of these right here are still mono. Gee, mono and it's blue. How does that fucking work? No, actually, I would have to say that, I mean, that's half true. And believe me, I listen to George Carlin when he talks about his stances on politics. Shout out to over half of America. This woke BS is over. Now, I hate to tell you this, Silver Stasher, because you did bring up something interesting. Because of that, the woke bullshit isn't over. The woke bullshit is still, it's going to be running wild, but not as strong as Trumpomania. It's still running wild because after the election results, TikTok, which I am a fan of, I am a huge fan of fucking TikTok, but TikTok went off the fucking rails because of how strong things were going with Trump talk in the TikTok areas. You had your little Trump, your pro-Trump things, which I had been watching a lot of these fucking pro-Trump, pro-MAGA fucking people, and they're hilarious as shit. You know, shout-outs have to go out to MAGA Meg, Young Jeffrey, the Elder Millennial, a lot of these other people that I've been watching, the band Beard, and so on and so forth, because they would take a look at some of the people who have been, you know, some of the other people on the opposing side, on the Democratic side, people with the names like Harry Sisson, who basically was a paid fucking motherfucker. You know, he was paid by DNC PAC units in order to get, you know, in order to talk about and support Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when Joe Biden was running up until that first debate, and then Kamala Harris. But every single one of Harry Sisson's videos on TikTok would start off with saying, breaking news, Donald Trump or convicted felon Donald Trump, blah, 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 blah. And it was just basically this was the reason why Kamala Harris lost. But, you know, but like, and Trump wins, and what ends up happening on TikTok? This shit.
I'm sorry. No. Why?
Of course, this is going to fuck up again.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
All right. Yo, VLC, quit fucking up. VLC is fucking up. It's VLC that's doing this. So let me see if I can save this playlist and then open it up later, because I'm thinking that's what's causing it. It's something going on with this playlist. Oh yeah. Yeah, Stasher. That actually is an interesting one, because even in our friend groups on, you know, on Facebook and stuff, like there was this one guy that I'm friends with somehow on Facebook, and he ended up saying you can't support Trump and be a fucking juggalo at the same time. And I said to myself, what are you fucking talking about? Oh, because what? You know, once again, it's another one of those claims where it's like, oh, he's a xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, racist. What? Like, there's a lot of that stuff that I can actually defend. But at the end of the day, like Donald Trump once said, we need to grab America by the pussy. And that's exactly what we did. The funniest thing to me is that, like, a lot of these people that are on the left claim that the MAGA supporters were all fucking yeah, they basically said that all the fucking MAGA supporters are fucking cultists. And yet here you have like a group of brainwashed people who flip the fuck out just because they didn't win. Like, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I can possibly get this shit to work, because for some reason like, I want this playlist to fucking I want to save this playlist. But for some reason, yeah, because for some reason VLC is fucking up. VLC is the reason. We need to make VLC great again. You know? The kind of tribalism that really smashes into pieces over opinions, but hey, people will be in their feelings over logic. Not this time around, fam. Like, we can clearly see that it became the complete and utter opposite. Because Donald Trump won. Fuck your feelings. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. The fact is that your feelings are not going to put more money in my pocket. Your feelings are not going to take care of my fucking family. And that's something that a lot of these people really seem to not understand. You know? I don't know why, but this is becoming a fucking bitch. Like, for some reason, it's VLC that's fucking this up. And now my whole computer is, like, bogged down. Like, as soon as OBS starts working up. Like, what the hell? I'm going to try something and see if it works. There's going to be another thing I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see if I can shut down the Elgato, because that's what I'm using for this. And then I'm going to turn it back on here. If the damn Elgato will let me do my fucking thing. It won't let me fucking do it. It's eating away all of this shit. Yeah. The encoder somehow is overloaded. See, and then I take the Elgato away and it's working just fine. Let's try to reactivate this and see if it fixes the problem. I don't have any fucking issues until the Elgato's on. Like, what the hell? Yeah, the Elgato is the problem here. Huh. That's interesting. Pin the task manager at the bottom menu bar. It's a lifesaver. Oh, trust, dude, it's there. That's why that's why I'm opening it. But it's basically saying that it's basically saying that it's OBS that's overloading. That's what's causing things to fucking happen. So as soon as I open up this on OBS, that's when things start to go wonky. And this is like the main thing that I need in order to display all of this shit. And so for some fucking reason, like this is an unusual thing. So it's basically my fucking GPU is overloaded. The encoder is overloaded, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. OBS and Elgato running, yeah, but I also have like 32 gigs of RAM. So that's not a problem. It's never been a problem. The only thing that I can do at this point is to try to dumb down the kilobyte rating and hope that that works. Come on. So maybe it's just that I'm pumping out too much maybe I'm pumping out too much, I don't know. That might possibly help things. I'm hoping that that's what it does. Exactly, and I think personally we did get justice for Peanut. Man, this fucking sucks. Because this woman is, like, watching this woman having her meltdown was just fucking hilarious. So yeah, now it goes back to normal. You know, here we have this as normal as possible. Exactly. That dude, I was saying that shit too. Nuts out for a peanut. Okay, let's see if it works again. What up? Oh, what up, Cole? So yeah, like this still is not fucking A, dude. Like for some reason, yeah, the encoder is just not fucking having a good day. So maybe what I should do, you know what? I'm going to try to see if I can pause the broadcast. I'm going to try to see if I can do that. And then after that, maybe I can change up some shit so to see if it'll actually work out fine. But I'm not sure if that's going to be a possibility or not, because dude, it just fucking sucks that you know, because I had like this whole fucking show set up and everything, and then didn't have a single issue whatsoever. And now that I'm fucking doing the show, it's like, what the fuck? Not, you know, because like none of my settings on my computer have changed. And now all of a sudden I'm getting like encoding overloads and all this other shit, and it's like I didn't change anything on the goddamn computer. So and it's like, and I can't just have this happen for every fucking video that I do, you know? All right, so let me check the control room. See if this has anything. Yeah, it's saying that my shit is working just fine. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, it's fucking lame. And while it's live, I can't do anything with the auto configure wizard. So I'm going to end the broadcast and I'm going to try to see if I can come back. So don't nobody go nowhere. If you see, actually make sure that you have the notifications turned on, ring the bell. And if I'm able to get back up on here with no problems, then great. And hopefully this works out. So just give me a sec. I'll be right back.